Plaintiff Don Ashley met the defendant on a website for motorcycle enthusiasts, and they became friends. Dawn claims after the defendant got into a motorcycle accident, she allowed him to stay with her during his recovery, but she's suing him today for breach of contract. Defendant Steve Barkley says he met Dawn on a dating website, and they were a couple when he moved in with her. Steve claims Dawn often got angry with him because as a result of the pain medication he was on, he could not be intimate with her, and he's countersuing for an illegal eviction and emotional distress.
Start with you.
Yes, I met Steve online through a motorcycle enthusiast website. I was looking for a friend to ride, go to events and that such. It never became a romantic situation. We met at Starbucks, where we shared where we were coming from, and I quickly learned at that time that he lives a lifestyle of deception, that he had no motorcycle. It was with a family person, and he couldn't get it back until he paid them money. I did learn
When
that...
did you learn that? How long after meeting him?
Days.
Okay.
Not at that moment, days.
Mm-hmm.
Within the days meeting him, of
Right.
knowing him.
Within days of meeting him, you know he had lied to you?
Yes.
All right.
Well, come to find out, he lives at the VA, but it was an inpatient situation for drug and alcohol rehab. And I
learned that within a few days?
Yes. And then I also did learn that he has a serious stealing problem that he's in denial of. So getting to know him, I have a neighbor who had a motorcycle for sale. He described how we could double our money. That would be true. So I purchased it. I have a bill of sale and my bank withdrawal. I cannot drive this. It was a very large bike. He said he would drive it home within the mile. I counted the money out to my neighbors. He took the bike, the title and everything and left with it. He did go to my house and childishly peer pressured me into, let me ride, let me ride, let me ride. Against my best judgment, I did. I let him ride it, he took it. Within that weekend, he seriously crashed and burned. Set him in the hospital for 3 days. I felt horrific. I felt responsible. So he had a collapsed lung, broken ribs, messed up face. Living at the VA on a flat bunk bed, he couldn't cope. He asked permission to be released and gave them my address that he was going to stay by me in my recliner, upright. So while he was recuperating, I worked long hours. He had full range to my home. That's where all the stealing came in.
Who was helping him while you were out?
Nobody. He was there on his own.
Wouldn't he have been better off at the VA?
Probably, because he was pretty, out of it with the pain relief. I met Steve online through a motorcycle enthusiast website. I was looking for a friend to ride to events. It never became a romantic situation. And I quickly learned at that time that he lives a lifestyle of deception.
Plaintiff Dawn Ashley says she met the defendant on a website for motorcycle enthusiasts, and they were nothing more than friends. But the defendant claims they met on a dating site and were a couple.
Why did you do all these things, knowing that he had deceived you significantly the first couple of days? You determined that. Because
I was wanting to make a profit off this bike is why I purchased it. And I believed the manipulation he was telling me of why, how come, what for, why he was the way he was. Not till after we moved in with me.
Okay, but you knew he was a liar.
Yes.
All right.
About the bike, yes.
All right. Okay, good enough. What do you want to tell me?
Well, sir, most of it's simply not true. We didn't meet on a motorcycle enthusiast, whatever she said. We met on OurTime.com, which is a dating service online.
And you said that's not true, right?
No, that's very true.
Hold on. Pardon?
It's a motorcycle thing.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah, not about dating.
Well, it's where people meet people, yes.
Is it about dating, I'm asking you, and you
No.
just said yes.
No.
So now I'm confused.
It was for people to meet. To date wasn't relevant. I never got a chance
No,
to
I
know
didn't
him.
ask you what you did. Very basic question. He said it was associated with dating. My question to you,
It
was
could be.
the site at all associated with dating?
Yes.
Yet you told me when you began that it was only for motorcycle enthusiasts.
That is
and
not true.
the first thing out of your mouth, I got suspicious then. I want you to tell you, Your Honor, we never dated.
No, we did not.
Who's asking you that?
Well, he's.
Well, I mean,
we
who's done
did.
you? So that made me suspicious.
Okay.
And the site I met him on was only for motorcycle enthusiasts. Now, when he
OurTime.com.
says it was for dating, and I go back to you, I say, was it for dating? First you jump around, well, no, Then when I just say, give me the answer to that, well, yeah. Go ahead, sir. What else you want me to know?
I just want to state the facts, sir. We met in June, and we were dating. I was going to her house every night, and she didn't like it because I had a curfew where I was living at. I was living at Vets Place Central, which is a housing for the veterans community. And so I had a curfew. I had to be in by 10 o'clock or 11 o'clock on the weekends. Well, she didn't like that, so she asked me to move in with her.
Was that prior to your accident? If you wasn't
Yes, as a matter of
prior
fact.
to the accident.
Yes, it was. And we become kind of romantically inclined.
Absolutely not.
We didn't go to bed, so to speak, at that, and we never did. Because I was on medication and I couldn't do anything at that point. And I came back home one night, and she had gotten angry because I couldn't have romantically be involved with her. And at that point, I couldn't.
All right, we're going to
because-
get to that because it sounds like you're getting to the illegal eviction and the emotional distress you endured. But ma'am, why don't you tell me about the accident and the agreement to pay?
After purchasing the bike, he took it to my house. I agreed to let him ride it. He did crash. The bike disappeared with the title, and he ended up in the hospital. I visited as a friend in the hospital. He explained his circumstance. I did agree to let him stay at.
We went over that, ma'am. Let's get to the motorcycle incident, and so I can determine whether he is
Yes.
at fault and therefore owes you.
Because I never saw the title and beckoned for it, I had him sign a disclosure of payment,
Okay.
an agreement.
Let's see it, please.
It's in blue.
Okay. This is a promise to pay $4,000 cash. Okay, I see some other, describe the payments and
Yes.
describe the other expenses.
The payment, I asked for utilities while he was staying with me, and there was a payment,
How long did he stay?
2.5 months.
Okay,
October.
and he's countersuing regarding an illegal eviction, so that suggests that he was he had agreed to pay rent at some point.
Never did. And
Had he ever agreed?
he never lived with me.
Okay, good enough. All right.
He stayed there to recuperate.
And
There was
so-
never contract.
Okay.
Okay.
Plaintiff Dawn Ashley says she met the defendant on a website for motorcycle enthusiasts, and they were nothing more than friends. But the defendant claims they met on a dating site and were a couple.
Go ahead, sir. What's your defense regarding this agreement to repay her?
She tricked me and told me that that was a note. I didn't have my glasses on. It was dark. I wear glasses. I didn't have my glasses on. She said it was a note to release her from responsibility because I'd just been in a wreck with the motorcycle. And she told me it was a note to release her from any responsibilities so that she wouldn't be sued. And the title was in my name. She knew that.
What was the agreement on rent?
I was to pay $300 a month. I paid from June until October. That was $300 a month. That's 4 months the way I see it, and that's $1,200.
Did he make any payments toward rent?
No.
Okay, you have on here $300 paid,
That was
and
for the-
that's for September and then October,
That was for the bike.
and you deducted it from the amount the bike cost.
Yes,
That was
sir.
for
Okay,
rent.
you
as
have
far
that
as I-
evidence of what?
That would be this, and the sale of the bike.
Price of $3,800, right? All right, so the total was $3,800?
Yes.
All right, and he gave you
400 and 460, is it?
for the bike?
Yes, that is for the bike. There's
Okay, but it
no-
says 300 for September and 300 for October, an exact number.
Yes, and then the other is the utility bill. The 140 is
An
for
exact
utility.
number?
Yes.
140, I see.
Yes.
That was for utility?
Yes.
And the 300 each time
Yes.
for September and October
Yes.
was toward the bike?
Yes.
And the bike cost $3,800, that's the value?
I gave him 200 for living expenses.
This is what you gave me, $3,800 regarding the bike, right?
Yes, yes.
All right, and you subtract 600 from that, right?
yes.
Because he gave you two
Yes.
payments, 300 each, right? And that comes to 3,200,
Yes.
but yet you want 3,500.
I gave him money and,
And he paid it.
well,
This is the
okay,
contract I
if-
have to
if-
go with.
Okay, yes, then
Okay.
my math is wrong.
I'm inclined to think that's rent.
Yes, sir, it is.
That,
and it was
that
paid for
appears
4
to
months.
be more like rent, and that's why your math is wrong. Your counterclaim for illegal eviction and emotional distress is for what?
The emotional distress is because that she kicked me out with no.
Tell me how that occurred.
I came back home and all my stuff was sitting in the driveway in front of my truck. I mean, just in
Did
the
you
driveway.
ask her why?
I tried to go to the door. She wouldn't answer the door. She sent somebody else to the door and said, "You can't stay here no more. Get your stuff and get out of here."
Did you ever find out why?
No, I never did. Well, I thought I did because I got grease on a knife set.
You thought you found out why?
I thought that was the reason why.
Because you
because
got
she came
grease
out
on it.
holding the knife set and she said, "This is what you did."
She did that when?
That was
After you were kicked
when
out?
she told me to get on my bike and get out of there.
No, you said you came home and your things were out.
Yes, I came home and all the things.
And then you didn't know why.
I didn't know why because she didn't tell me I was getting
Right,
kicked
so
out
now
at that
you
point.
changed it and said you did know why because of grease on a knife.
Yes, because I had been working on her
All
truck
right.
that day.
I'm tired of the last. And that's why, ma'am, I'm going to give you $3,200. I believe he is responsible for the money involving the bike. Have a good day. Judgment for the plaintiff. Your claim is dismissed.